get set up. Marty just jumped in. How y'all doing? It's your man ThaBlackCobra. As you know, the Wheel Life show on Wheel Life Wednesday. We are talking about two of the newest wheels to go down today, or to come out rather. One of them I'm a little more excited than the other, but they both have some impressive specs. And of course, we'll talk about everything else in the world of EUC because that's how we do. So let me say what's up to everybody in the chat already. What's up? Jumpy Jiggle Snore. On my end, you're number one. You were the first one in. So shouts out to you, brother. And of course, my man Spartacus. Good to see you in here too, man. You always in, always supporting. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lucifer's in the house, of course. You know this, man. And the one and only Turbo. He's in the house as well. What's up, Turbo? Yes, yes. So everybody jumping in, I appreciate you. Eli Hicks. E. Simon, good day. Good to see you, man. Glad you guys are in here. Glad you guys are jumping in to talk. The Fat Unicyclist. What's up, man? Yes, yes. Conversation time. I'm watching what you guys were saying in the chat, and yes, it's chilly. Today was like, I think it was 32 when we woke up this morning, and the high was like 46 or something ridiculous, 48 maybe. It's cold, especially when, a week and a half ago, it was like 70 something degrees, almost 80, and here we are freezing our buns off already. Craziness. So I think he's all set, so we're gonna go over here and jump in with Marty and see how Marty's doing. See if we can get him in here. Hold on, Marty. We're gonna add you. Assign you right here. Marty! Uncle Marty, what's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Marty.
All right, good.
So we're good. I see that signature orange behind your shoulder there. So I see it's still laid up.
You're not supposed to see that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
The V14 is in pristine condition.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we're gonna go with right now. Pristine condition.
I hate to tell you this, but the weather today was only about 80 degrees here.
Oh Lord!
Wow. Blue skies.
You had to smack us with that, Marty. Okay. You guys see what he's doing to us? You see what he's doing to us? You lucky I don't have a boo button here.
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah, and here I am down here in my basement, and I'm starting to sweat under these lights. Let me get some air going here. So, Marty, you've been having a good time, and I know after coming off your ankle, that had to be rough, man. Let's talk about that first, because we talked about it before, but excuse me. Now I guess you're back in your right mind because you had to be going nuts with that ankle.
Yeah, it was a long journey, that's for sure. It was, so I broke my ankle July 14th. I was depressed for a couple of weeks, then slowly adjusting to it and regaining faith in UCs and all that kind of stuff. And then I got the cast off after it was like nine or 10 weeks. It's a long time to be just stuck in a cast. I mean, and your foot gets really weird and lose sensitivity. It's still really swollen. But I got up the cast. I pushed out a couple of videos showing me starting to kind of walk it in these walking boot. But I had my that was early September. Couple weeks into September, I think, yeah. And then I had my tour coming up on October 14th, so I had to start riding again and getting used to it. So I was able to do my tour. I skipped some of the parts of some of the rides that involved heavy trail riding, but now I can finally, basically, a good solid 3.5 months later, after breaking it, I can walk. Zero limps. Even my bare feet but at the end of the day, well, the foot's still swollen, and at the end of the day, it starts hurting. And like yesterday, I was taking my Commander Mini doing some errands around town, and he got suspension. What's one fun part about suspension is being able to just sail off curbs and stuff, right? Just whenever you have an opportunity,
Yep.
take a drop. I did that with a curb, not 8 inches or something like that, and it's still kind of hurting me today, the ankle. Yeah, so I can't
drop.
Yeah, I can't take any hard hits because the Commander Mini it's kind of a firm suspension, right?
Yeah, it's got suspension, but it's not a Cadillac cushy suspension.
No.
So,
which I should say, we'll probably talk about. The V14 is kind of a little bit like that too.
It's a little bit like the stiffness, or it's
a
little bit
stiffness.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, speaking of that, Jumpy Jiggle Snorts in here. He said that what a tour, the best week I've had in a long time. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks. I think everyone enjoyed it. It was perfect. We had glorious weather. It was basically like 80, low 80s every single day. Blue sky, no clouds, just everything was perfect. Everything was perfect.
Well, shouts out to Primo. Primo's in the chat too. He said, it was a pleasure to meet you, Marty. Great dude. Glad you're basically healed.
Yeah, Primo. It was nice. It was fun. This guy is insane. I still not sure I get my head around this. He came out. He flew. Let's see. He was on day 5 and Castaic Lake, 75-mile ride.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever ridden in those kind of conditions, mountains, and he flew out the day before.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where he got the wheel, who loaned it to him or what. And I don't think he wasn't exactly heavy geared up, but he did the ride and then he left. I think he left the next. He didn't. Well, I don't think he left that night, but he left the next day. So just for one day of the tour. But I think he had a good time though. Everyone enjoyed having a New Yorker in the house.
Well, he said, Primo's actually Worcester. That's the Worcester guy.
I'm sorry. All you East guys, everyone on the East Coast is New York in my head. You all talk with that funny accent.
It's funny you say that because everywhere I go, because I'm Massachusetts, they think Boston. Oh, you Boston guys. I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
I do not park the car in Harvard Yard.
Yeah, that's for sure. You do not have a Boston accent.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it seems like everybody had a good time, Marty. That's once again, those photos look good, and you had us all, once again jealous. And I'm like, damn, I missed it again. And I was like, that's all right. I'll make the next one. Oh wait, that's his last one.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
But you're coming out in a week or so, right?
Yeah, like a week and a half, whatever. 18th, 19th for the one and only AVS this year.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
And you're still gonna stay one day so you can do a ride?
Yeah. Because I gotta go on a Marty ride at least once,
Yeah, we'll firm it up with me, and the day just assume it's be a Monday, and that Monday, right?
Yeah,
and
because that Monday, because this 18th, 19th, and Monday is the 20th, so yeah, and I think I fly back on the 21st. I think
I got an M10-4 waiting for you.
Okay, I can see that, Marty. You're flying down on an EX30 or something. Come on, Erwin, come on.
Yeah. What are you doing? Trying to imitate Duff?
Duff alert.
I say that. I say that with love. Just giving Duff a hard time.
We know you love Duff, Marty, and you guys love to rib each other. That's for sure. So let's talk about what we got today. Let's see. So let me see if I can pull this in here.
I could take my camera and show you the state of the chaos in
Yeah,
here too.
we'll definitely get to that. So right now, guys, we are talking about the InMotion Adventure, the V14, 2400 watt hour battery. Excuse me, 4,000 watt motor, cruising speed of 43.5, which I really want to talk about. Says it's 86 pounds, max load of 308, which is good because my ass is fat right now.
It's more than 88. I weighed it at 91 pounds, by the way.
Oh, okay. So weighs a little bit more. It
Yeah.
says the battery, 2,400 watt hour. It says a 70-mile range. Of course, we don't. It hasn't been tested by one of us yet. So we'll see. And Marty does those range tests, so we'll definitely see what you got, Marty.
Oh, I tested it. Didn't get anything near that.
Oh, you already got a chance to get a conclusive test? Okay, Marty. We
Well,
got it
not
behind you.
yeah,
So talk to me about
right.
what you got.
Well, so I'll just tell the story briefly. I knew that Jason reached out to me about the V14 and if I wanted to test it. Yeah, I want to test it. So
No brainer.
so I knew it was coming, but I didn't really know. I didn't have a day or anything, and so I went out to get the mail one day, last week, and there was a box sitting out there. So, oh, what's that? And it was a V14, right? And then the very next day, the same thing happened, and I got the Lynx. It was so funny.
It's hard being Marty. It's hard being Marty. It really is. And I don't think people understand how tough it is being Marty.
Yeah. And the Lynx, now I knew about the Lynx in maybe March. Okay. So I got some advance heads up that it was coming. And I was offered to be able to, get my own copy early on. Then I break my ankle. And I'm thinking, oh God, that's going to screw everything up. It's just, but fortunately I got back riding again. And then I, reached out and between E-Wheels and Veteran, and I was able to get all worked out. And yep, it's coming my way. But again, I knew it was coming within a couple of weeks or something, but just surprised me that I got it that day. So yeah, I have two wheels in the house and they're both not working.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Now you just ruined my second surprise there.
I'm sorry. But we can talk about let's see, go back to the V14.
Yeah, so we're talking about the V14 and the fact that you got that in.
Yeah.
I did see a couple videos that you did. You did the one video and then you did the second where it was broken. Well, first of all, shouts out to Wheelie Dope in the chat. What's up, brother? But yeah, so the ride that you went on, tell us about it. How do you feel about the wheel? I mean, I watched the video, but for those here that may not have gotten a chance to watch the video, talk to us about the V14, Marty. What's your impressions? What you think?
Now, again, let's see. Yeah, I basically only got one ride on the wheel. So, one ride, right? I got about 50 some miles on it. And so by the end of that ride, actually, I was getting tuned into it, because every wheel is obviously different, balance and everything. So, you get on a wheel you can get on a wheel and for the first 10 miles, it can feel awkward.
Yeah.
Or 20 miles, right? And then at some point you start really becoming at one with the wheel. And so I liked it. I think I mentioned in the video, I like the ride better than the Commander Mini in terms of, it just felt better. The balance, in general, the tire, the suspension is kind of stiff like the Commander Mini. So which I kind of think matches what they're kind of going for. Talking to Jason, InMotion, they're really pushing this as a trail wheel.
Really?
That's why it's shipping with a Navi. Jason wants him to ship with this options, like put a street tire in it too. And I guess
Right.
he's getting pushback because they're perceiving it as it's a off-road. And for that purpose, you kind of want a stiffer suspension. You don't want
Yeah,
a
definitely.
plush bouncing around suspension, right? Uh, but the suspension feels really nice. It's again only that one ride, right? I have all kinds of other, and I'm still going to do all the other kind of rides. I'm going to loan it to Roger. He's going to take it some because Roger does the big jumps and the big drops and stuff. And uh, but my sense is the suspension is going to be really good because it's got the King Song S22 type suspension,
Right.
but with a progressive coil. So
Mm-hmm.
the coil, it feels like a softer coil until it gets compressed more, and then it gets stiffer and stiffer. So effectively, like almost never wants to quite bottom out because
Right.
of that.
Okay, so it feels stiffer. It's sort of like the S22. My question is this: I always ask people this because to me the S22, even though it's people love it for trail riding and jumping and stuff, I still have trouble with. I don't like the sound. Like it's still to me when you jump and the suspension still has like a clunk. It's not like pronounced, but I always feel like it's there. I still don't feel. Maybe it's because I love the hydraulic suspension and the fact that it's so buttery smooth. So when I get on the S22, it doesn't have that
Okay.
same idea. So I'm still like, eh. And I still have the Master over there that I barely ride, but I have it, and I every now and then I'll get on that to try and bring me back to reality that there is different types of suspension and not all suspension is created equal. But that's just
Right.
my take on it. Now that you've ridden the adventure with their suspension and you said it's stiffer, do you prefer it? Like, do you feel like it's gonna be able to truly take over the S22? And
I,
it's
I just can't I
can't
can't
yet.
say
Okay,
because
okay. It's too
I
early.
only had I had that one ride which was a break-in kind of a ride, and it gave me
Yep.
that gave me a sense of the range.
Yep.
But really, there's I didn't do any really trail riding. I did some stuff through dirt and some sand and stuff like that to get a sense of I love the tire. The tire looks like it's going to be great for off-road stuff, but
Right.
no, I can't. It'd be unfair for me to
Okay.
pass any
Okay.
judgment.
I
And
appreciate your
again,
honesty. I appreciate your
I
honesty, giving them a
I
chance.
want yeah I want to see what I really want to see what Roger thinks of it because Roger's the master of the suspension wheels. He's got the extreme. So right the date, let's see, yeah, that day I was planning on dropping it, giving to Roger that very day that it failed. In the morning, I went out where it failed. The afternoon, I was going to give it to Roger. Roger was going to give me his extreme,
Ah.
and then and I was gonna do a range test on the extreme. You know, just play around with it.
Yep.
So because in a way, the extreme, ignoring speed,
Yeah.
the extreme could be perceived as a competitor,
Yeah.
or the V14 could be perceived as a competitor to the extreme, right? The
I agree.
same battery size, the suspension might be better.
I,
Again, we
I,
don't know, but
yeah, honestly, that's what my next question was. We didn't get there, but speaking of Roger, shouts out to Roger. He's in the chat now. What's going on, Roger? Good to see you, buddy. Um, yeah, I know. Roger was anxious to get his hands on it too, and we were anxious to see Roger put it through some of his normal paces. Um,
he will though. He still will because
I,
I'm I'm assuming I'm going to be allowed to make it work again.
yeah,
And uh,
yeah. Well, I definitely can't wait to get on these wheels. How size wise, what would you compare the V14 to? Because you said
it's
mini,
a
but it seems it's bigger than the mini.
is it? Well,
I
I
know.
haven't actually.
In looking at it, I rode the
I
mini when
have
I was out there in at Amped, and looking at you on that, it seems like it's bigger than the mini.
yeah. Let me make a quick measurement.
Okay. we'll do a measurement to the Mini. While he's
I was
doing
just
that, like
curious.
we said, oh, you got the tape measure out already.
About 24 inches. And,
Oh, okay.
oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Wilson. Thanks for that. I needed that, Wilson. He said my audio is coming in too low compared to you. That's what I needed. Thank you,
So
Wilson. Appreciate that, brother. Oh,
I,
Dawn Champion in the house. What's up, Dawn?
hey, Don.
You see Wilson and Dawn both in the house. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Electric Unicycle, what's going on, man? Good to see you too. We got
I just did
Zweem.
a quick measurement, by the way, of
Yep,
the Mini
yep.
and the V14, and they're both the same height.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From from the tire to the top of the shell is about 24 inches. And I didn't measure the other measurements, but it's pretty
Right.
much it's it's pretty much like all, probably pretty much like all the these 16-inch,
Okay.
right? Probably like the
So,
Pat. I'm gonna guess it's like the Patent too, if you were to measure it. I don't know.
and so that being said, um, when I look at it, I guess maybe here I'm gonna put it back on the screen behind us. Um, when I look at it, I guess it's just that it looks bigger, but maybe it's the color scheme and the the pieces that are on it. I don't know. It just looks bigger than the Mini to me. So I can't wait to get my hands on
I
it,
don't
and I'm
know.
really hoping that you get those batteries in time there, Marty,
Well, that's for the
or the
Lynx.
board.
Okay,
The board. That
but
one you need the board if it works.
well, it's not going to be here in a week and a half. Well, I shouldn't say it. So I can give you some status. Let's see. Let
Okay,
me.
talk to
I
me.
don't know. Can I don't know if I can switch. I guess I probably can't switch views, or can I?
What to
Let's
flip it
see.
around and show the front side, the other camera on
Yeah.
your phone?
Let me see if that works. Right? Can you see that?
No, I can still see you. Just turn the camera around if you're trying to show something.
Oh, okay.
Turn the phone
Um,
around.
sorry.
It's all right. Do what you got to do.
I gotta go get back to. Ah, okay. Um,
Primo, thanks for the super chat there, buddy. Appreciate you.
okay, there you got it,
There you
right?
go.
Okay, so this is the status
Wow.
of the V14. Give you guys, now I put out a couple videos, but there's a couple videos that I've made, but they're unpublished because we want to give InMotion opportunities to respond, kind of a thing. But these are the cool battery. Can you see these? The battery
Yeah.
connections,
Yeah, that looks really good.
uh, and super easy. Again, I think I put out a video like, yeah, I put out the video that shows these. Super easy to work on, to get access to. That's really cool. This is the control board area.
Okay.
This is the display, and this is the Raptor.
Yeah.
This is the Hall sensor connector. Now you'll see that there are two connectors for two Hall sensors,
Right.
and there's some discussion. I kind of assumed that the V14 had two Hall sensors because the error message I received said the left Hall sensor has failed. But
Yeah, I saw
there's
that in your
only
video.
there's only one Hall sensor on the
Okay.
V14, so no redundancy on this guy, which is odd. You would kind of think, why not provide it since they got the electronics to support it?
Especially when they've done so much work. That the craftsmanship on that wheel just looks ridiculously good.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's gasketed up top for the control board, and it's super easy to get into everything here. Is like 5 to 10 minutes of work, I suppose. And if you needed to, let's see, I don't think you would need to drop the motor to change the tire because the batteries are really easy
To come off.
to come off. There's just
Yeah.
4 screws on each battery pack, and then obviously very easy to disconnect the electrical. So
Yeah.
you can get the batteries out of your way. You should be able to change the tire without doing anything up in the control board area. So that's really cool.
It looks like they
Uh,
did a good job. They followed like the basic design that everybody's using, Begode, and a lot of
yeah,
the
it,
architecture is the same, but it looks super quality. Like
it's
that's
very much. It just reminds you of all the new wheels. I
yeah,
was so excited when I saw this configuration because it's just going to be so easy to work on. Compared, if you compare this to like the V13 or the
yep.
V11, I have a I I created a how to change a tire on the V11 video for
Yep.
e-wheels, right? And it was like a lot of work.
Yeah, it was.
This this thing is just real simple, and I got the pads. They airship these out. I just got these yesterday,
Ah,
so they're kind of cool. They have the brake pad, and then here you can see they have a connector between these two pads. So you,
I'm not gonna
so you
say
can
what that's like. I'm not gonna
okay,
say.
okay. Hey, everyone copies everyone, right?
Yes, everyone copies everyone,
So
apparently.
anyway, you know you got the idea. You can rotate it
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
and
No,
but
that's good. It looks like it
and
looks good. I know somebody in the
yeah.
chat was like, "I'm glad they didn't go with the orange for the other wheel," but I like the way that looks. So
Well, and let's see here. Here is the panel, the top panel,
yeah,
and some guys don't like the orange, but like I say, this plastic is super easy to paint.
yeah,
Can spray paint, 2 coats of spray paint, which I've done multiple times on other wheels, and you can
yeah,
paint it black or paint it anything you want.
yeah. And that's what's gonna
Um,
happen. You know how we
so,
do. uh,
so let's see. The status of this wheel is that um, the I had the hall sensor failure message when I turned it on. It didn't balance. I got diagnostics, which then told me that it was a hall sensor. I uploaded that to InMotion. A couple times later, I tried it. Let's see, yeah, I think two times later after I turned it on briefly, that's when it shook violently,
yeah.
and then I turned it on again after that. It it turned on, didn't balance, and then the fourth time I turned it on, it didn't turn on. And in a classic case, the tower was frozen up, really hard to
Yeah,
turn,
that's when you
and
knew.
as part of what I've been doing is I disconnected the phase wires, and now the tire rotates. So of course that just confirms that this board is dead. Now I've been working with InMotion. They wanted me to first, just make sure this connector was connected and everything. And it was. There was goop on there. I had to cut away, so that's good.
Yeah,
And then today I made some tests. They had me use my meter to test the electrical condition of the hall sensor, and it looks like
right.
the hall sensor is dead. And
Oh, so
that,
you had both then?
well, no, we didn't have both. This is what caused the problem. The hall sensor is dead,
Yep.
and then that caused an issue with the control board, shaking and stuff, and that just too much power going through the Raptor destroyed the control board. But
No,
this
no,
was the ultimate.
that's what I'm saying is now you have a hall sensor you got to and the board you got to switch.
Well, no, the hall sensor is embedded in this guy, the motor. So
Oh, so you got to
unless you're a brain surgeon,
need.
you can't replace it. The hall sensors are embedded in a goop. I mean, it's totally impractical to replace it. So I'm going to have to get a new control board
And a new motor.
and a new motor, so that'll give me an opportunity to create a video on how to change a tire on a V14.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So, Marty, show me the headlight again. Zween was saying that the headlight scaffolding looks kind of flimsy. I didn't feel like that, but show me the headlight there.
Oh, switch
That's
cameras.
all right.
Let's see. Tell me if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
And the headlight is beautiful. It's kind of like all InMotion headlights, right? They're all really nice headlights. It has a cutoff on the top, so you're not going to blind oncoming traffic or people.
Yes, I thought that was weird when I saw the projection, but it makes sense.
No, it works good. And it's just like other current wheel. You know, on the other InMotion wheels, the headlight's fixed, right? You can't rotate them. You can't do anything. But this is on 2 pivot points, so you can
loosen it and then pivot it where you want.
I think see how I turned it?
Yeah, I see it.
So I was doing that when I was riding at night the other day. I'd reach down and kind of point it up a little bit so I could see farther. And everything's. Here's a connector for the. I don't know if you can see that connector for the headlight.
Yep.
So.
All right, Zween, did you get a good look?
Headlight.
And Stan said, Marty, you've had several initial failures with EUC introductions. Are the companies sending experimental first batches to e-wheels? Has InMotion responded to the failure?
Oh yeah, InMotion. Are you kidding? Yeah, I'm having daily conversations with them at night. I just upload another video to give them some more data, and it's actually like 911 or not. That's a bad. There's an expression for like all hands on deck type thing going on at InMotion right now.
Oh, okay, trying to figure it out. Well, yeah, this is like big for them.
They're like panicking, It's like, what's I don't know. In my view, it's a one-off, but I guess, people are really fickle. I mean, I get a lot. I've seen a lot of feedback. Oh, I'm canceling my order, or I'm changing to the Lynx, or
Well, you and I, Marty, know that it's bound to happen. It's a device, an electric device that has plenty of points of failure. So the chances that you're going to get one to fail are pretty high. So for people to be like jumping ship that quickly, it's like it doesn't make sense, because if you look at all of the videos that they've created, I mean, even if I just go here again, I got it behind us now, you can see all the different stuff that they've done with this wheel. The wheel seems incredible. It's
I mean, it doesn't have that high end speed, but with people, I've seen a couple of comments that make implied, oh, well, I'm not interested because I don't have the headroom. They don't understand. This wheel has, my understanding, it has a huge amount of headroom, but they are limiting. They're limiting it to 43 miles per hour, but I think it's on paper it's capable of like 55, 60.
Right.
On paper, right? So it's got the headroom, and they're just preventing you from even attempting to use it.
Yeah. And we know how that goes. Later on, they may change their mind and decide to unlock it and let you use it, because other wheels have done that. So it's a possibility. So as long as it's there and it's, they have it built in, it's a good thing, I think.
But then again, it's a smaller wheel. I mean, if you really want to go fast, get a bigger wheel. Get a Lynx.
Well, now that we're talking about that, let's jump on over to the Lynx and talk about what we got with the Lynx. Now, the Lynx is Veteran's latest iteration, and although I was surprised at the 2,700 watt-hour battery, it's got a 3,200 watt motor, and it's got a cruising speed of 55, which of course it's able to go higher than that. It's got that, crazy voltage, the highest voltage so far. What is it, 150 volt? Or was it
151
151? Yeah,
volts.
151 volts.
Let's
So it
see.
it says 290 pounds for a max payload. So it seems like even though this wheel is a little bigger, it can hold a little less, which is weird. Probably because of the battery being smaller.
Excuse the mess here.
Sure.
This my workshop is starting to look like Rogers. That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke if anyone's ever seen Rogers' place. But here's the charger. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's anyway, it's 151.2 volts, 5 amps.
Okay.
So good size charger. And the charger that comes with V14, by the way, is this one. So it's a kind of a beefy, big charger, and it's 3 amps.
We can't see it, Marty. We can only see you. You got to turn the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been talking. Okay. How about this?
We got you now.
So this is the V14 charger, 3 amps. This is the 151.2 5 amp charger.
Okay.
And so yeah, you didn't see this. So this is a cast that reminds me of Roger's place right now. It's kind of a mess. So here's my Mini. Let's see, just showing you a few of my EUCs. My Max with my golden arch seat, and this is the Lynx.
Oh.
So it's a beautiful looking wheel. It just needs the 2 battery packs to put it all together. But just your typical connections for your front headlight, your rear headlight, big beefy heat sink area. Looks like, I'm assuming this is the battery connections, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. There's 2 of these, but there's only one conductor.
So we'll see how it comes out.
Yeah, I haven't really dug into this at all yet, but it looks like it'll be super simple to put together once I get it. I'm really excited for this wheel.
How does the tire feel compared to the other one, or how does it look? It looks just kind of what the V14 has.
It's a CST tire, which I mentioned in my video that surprised me because has Veteran changed as far? They used to be shipping with Kendas. Does anyone know if they switched like on a Patton or on the Sherman S? Are they using Kenda still, or did they switch back to?
I don't know. I haven't gotten a new one. There you go. There we go. I was gonna say, Marty, you got to flip us around again.
Yeah. So So it's the CST tire, which surprised me. But again, I don't know. Maybe they switched. But the tire.
I don't know. Let me look at mine real quick.
Okay.
I can't really tell. I took mine out and it's all dirty, so I can't.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't clean it, so the tires got dirt all over it. I ain't wiping it. So
the tire looks beautiful, though. I mean, I'm not a tire nerd. I kind of just use whatever they give me, but looks like a nice tire.
Yeah, but I'm still a knobby tire lover, though. I something about the knobby tires that still does it for me. So, I know some people like that. Those street tires, and they switch over, and I guess, like I said, if you're doing high speed racing, okay, I understand you want that street tire, but I like the versatility of the knobby, especially if it's a good knobby that does not, as long as it's not train tracking, or it doesn't have that flat profile that you fall off the edge of. If it's a good rounded knobby, I like it. I'm the same way. I'm like, it's a good tire.
Right. Well, hopefully, I got to get the batteries. Today's Wednesday. I was half thinking I might have gotten them today, but hopefully I'll have them and you'll be able to ride the wheel at ABS.
I hope
So
so.
somehow I have to. I'm not sure what to do because this is my personal wheel. It's
Ah,
a demo, of course, but it is mine. So I paid for it. So I don't want to give it to any yahoos at ABS who are going to go, let's see how fast I can and Superman it, and then they cut out and
yeah.
destroy it.
Well, I wouldn't destroy your wheel, Marty, but I don't know if you're gonna have it together in time.
Well, I'm assuming it'll be together, but
I hope
no,
so.
I just got to make sure. I, I'll let anyone ride it. I'm just gonna kind of tell people don't Superman it. Don't try and break any speed records. I'd like to first let Roger and or Dawn, if Dawn hasn't retired yet from riding, I'll let her test the upper speed limits.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! She's planning on retiring. I hadn't heard this. Hold on, Don. What? What?
She keeps she's been talking more vocally about this taking a much lower profile in EUC riding, so I'm giving her a hard time every time I talk to
Oh,
her now.
okay. Don, don't you
So
can't be leaving us yet, Don. uh, in looking at let me get back over here because I did want to look at what eWills put up, which I really appreciate on their site, is a comparison, a technical comparison of the Lynx, the Patton, and the Sherman S. And a lot of people were asking about that, so I don't think you can see it on your screen, but they
no.
have the Lynx coming in at 42 inches for the height, the Patton at 40, and the Sherman S at 36.6. So, well, you don't have the batteries on, so since you don't have it together, it's hard for you to tell yet. But it seems
I
like
could measure I can measure the height if you want.
it's the tallest out of all of their wheels.
Let me measure it real quick.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it was going to be taller than the Sherman S, but that's good. Just because it means it's a big boy wheel. That's what I want. Let's see, and they said at
Okay,
28.5.
looks like the height from the bottom of the tire. Now that's with the shock uncompressed or anything, but 27 and a half to 28 inches.
See, they got 28.5 from down to the top, and actually, I'm not sure what that 42 inches is. So I was looking at the wrong measurement. Looking on the other side, it does have 28.5 for the height, 26.3 for the Patton, and 27.9 for the Sherman S. But it still gives it a
Interesting.
tiny bit of an advantage or height over the Sherman S. And they got the battery comparisons. It's right in the middle. Although it's a little taller, it seems to sit in the middle for battery capacity because the Patton has 2200 and it has 2700, the Lynx, and then 3600 watt hour for the Sherman S. So less battery, definitely more volts, more speed because the Sherman S you had to do the high speed mode and unlock it in order to get that speed, which gave you, the lower safety limit. Whereas this, you don't have to worry about that. Free rotation speed, 77 miles per hour.
I know. I'm really, I don't know. I'm just looking for it because to me, the sweet spot is a 20-inch tire.
Yeah.
It just seems like, and the 20, yeah, I wish it had bigger battery, but I don't know. I think it's not going to be obviously a long range wheel, but I think the 27 and a little bit more than the Master. I think it's going to be a good, fun wheel, that you can
Yeah.
still do a lot of riding with.
Well, it definitely looks like something I want to get on. Excuse me. And it's funny because Sherman S when it came out, I was like, eh. when I rode it at AVS last year, I was like, eh. And here it is, the same one that we rode at AVS is mine. I'm like, what are the
Oh
chances
yeah,
of that?
oh, is that the one you have? The one we rode it? Because that was
Yeah,
the first time I rode it. I rode it
yeah,
too. That was Seth's, right?
yeah. The one you dropped. Thanks a lot, Marty.
I did not stop.
You,
I
you,
I laid it down. I
you
laid
want me
it
to run the video
down.
back, Marty?
That was because of my ankle. Give me a break.
Yeah. Oh, it's not because of your ankle.
I can blame everything on my ankle now.
So, fresh bones. You're right. That's what the TH stood for, was the trolley height. You're right. Thank you, fresh bones. I wasn't even thinking. So the trolley height is what they were saying. So it's
Okay.
a little bit taller, and then it's got the trolley handle height. Which another thing.
Yeah, the V14. How about that? Do you remember me pointing out the trolley handle on the V14?
Yeah, it had a couple different heights, and one was really
Really
tall.
tall. It's like went up to my chin almost. I mean, it's like, wow.
Well, you know what? That was the other thing. They don't show the trolley handle up on the V14 here on eWheel's site, but on the Lynx, I think that was my one thing I didn't like, because if I remember
So,
correctly, the trolley handle's in the back, right?
yeah, yeah. I
Excuse me.
don't have the trolley handle. It must be come. It's part of the must
Battery
be part of
set.
batteries. So it's on the
Oh,
back.
okay.
And so why is it that I guess it's the size of the suspension on the Lynx,
Doesn't
but
allow. Yeah.
they were, yeah, the InMotion Begode, they can put it in the center, but I guess it's the suspension, the fork
Yeah.
suspension
Yeah.
just doesn't give them the room.
And I mean, hey, that's the one thing that I've seen so far that I was like, because I like my trolley handle in the middle.
Yeah,
But
me
I'm
too,
liking the
but
Lynx so far, though. I'm liking the specs on it anyway. So can't wait till you get it up and running, and hope you get it to bring it with you. Um,
yeah, me too.
so Wilson's asking, what wheel is that in the background? That's the V14 in the background, on the table there, ready for surgery.
Yeah.
He left the body open. He left the body open. He's waiting for pieces and parts so he can do his Frankenstein thing. See, here's somebody already. Sean Wellsby saying, I have the V14 on order, and now I'm wondering if I should change my order to the Lynx.
See, why but I don't know, but they really are different wheels too. I mean, one's a 16-inch, which is really an 18-inch to me, and one
Yeah,
is a 20-inch.
yeah,
Uh, I think one is really best suited probably for trails. The other one, you know,
yeah.
not right. I mean, I don't think Shibby is going to be jumping any of the Shermans.
I don't know.
I, I don't
We
know.
we probably should have him do that. But-
Yeah, well, let him get his own.
You don't want him to jump a canyon with your wheel?
Hey, Mike, I got this new wheel. Can you want to give it a couple jumps? See how it works?
Hey, Mike, I got
Uh,
this wheel, and it's brand new. You know, it's untouched, and I got a canyon over here. You mind hitting this
yeah,
up real quick? Just take it for a spin. I just wanted to kick the tires. I want to see how it's running. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be all right. And then you, right after watching the first two videos where he crashed when he was making that jump.
yeah. That's the thing. You watch these videos, and they're awesome jumps, but you don't see all the ones that led up to it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem.
Now,
Not everybody.
people, no, people that don't jump and they see all these people doing jumps,
Yep,
they don't realize that these people bend rims, they break
yep,
wheels. Mike has broken many parts on this S22.
yep.
You can hurt yourself. I mean, keep all that in mind.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's like woo, ah, but
Yeah.
it takes a little bit, and I know because I started trying. I was like, oh, let me try to jump out at Amped when we're at the rail yard. Shouts out to the rail yard. It's one of my favorite places to ride, but I took a shitter on the cement, and ooh, Did I feel it? I was like, I'm like, how do they do this? I ain't doing no more jumping tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
It hurts.
That
So just keep that in mind, people. Don't think that you can get out there and just go hog wild crazy. And you know, if you think you want to be the next Shibby, take out some more insurance.
yeah. It's
You're
best
gonna
if
get
you
hurt.
best if you do it before you have any commitments in life. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So Stan says, Marty, what's your philosophy on buying wheels? Do you buy wheels for purpose, new releases, or as collectibles?
definitely not as collectibles. No, I just get. I'm ultimately just an enthusiast, so I generally am attracted to the newest and greatest, and I get them. And some wheels I keep longer than others, but ultimately, I love all wheels.
Yeah.
The emotion. Maybe I might end up getting one of those. They're all every wheel is fun, and every
Yeah,
wheel is different. That's why I have 13 wheels right now in my workshop, and
that's
and
all.
that's all right now. I'm trying to get down to 10, but they just won't let me. They keep sending me wheels, but uh, but it's great. I tell people it's like opening up your closet and deciding what shirt to wear today. It
Yep.
it really is. If if you're fortunate enough to have many wheels, and believe me, I know guys that have more wheels than me. It's really nice to be able to go into your closet and say, I feel like riding this wheel, right? It's going to give me a different experience, and it kind of keeps you a little bit more. Um, what's the word? If I only had one wheel or two wheels, in a way, those guys they got it made because they can get so in tune with that wheel because they
Yeah.
do everything in that wheel. You just it really becomes part of you. If you have 10 wheels and you're rotating among all these wheels, I never personally get so in tune with any particular wheel because I'm always doing different wheels and I get on a wheel and it feels a little weird for
Hmm.
first few miles and but I kind of like that. It
Yeah.
keeps me on my toes and it's variety.
It really is different. I feel the same way. And it's it really what really speaks to that is my first impressions usually. Like I said, I think about wheels like the Sherman and the Sherman S rather, even the Sherman actually same both of them. Initially, I was like, for both of them, I wasn't all that big on them. I was like, the look, the Sherman was like a box. I didn't really care for it. I was like, eh. And then I rode it a few times. Next thing I know, I can't live without it. And then the Sherman S, same thing. I was like, it feels heavy for the height. It's just, I didn't like the feel. I was like, I like the suspension, but I'm not sure. And here we go.
Hmm.
It's in my stable now because I'm in love. I'm like, it's just it takes a while to get really really feel the wheel, but that's when you make a decision. I don't think anybody should make that decision on that first ride where they're just riding around the parking lot. Oh, do I want this one? It's kind of hard to tell until you ride it a little bit.
But that puts people in a tough spot in a way because how can you? I like I just said in the V14, it wasn't until I was probably 35 to 40 miles into the ride that I was
Mm-hmm.
really getting in tune with it. And
Yep.
how many, how often, most people just don't have the opportunity to test ride a wheel for 30 to
No.
40 miles, right?
No, they don't.
But, but I do think, like I said, I love all wheels.
Yeah,
They all ride differently, and you can get used to and love any wheel you get.
you can. You can. I didn't think that before. I thought, either it's the one you like or it's not, and you're gonna love it or not. But it's true. If you keep riding a wheel, you'll end up really liking it and getting accustomed to it and figuring out how to make it do what you want it to do. And I also love the different vibe on different wheels. Once I jumped back on the Master there after not riding it for a long time and riding, the Sherman S and the Commander Pro, which is in the other room, and riding other wheels, then I got back on the Master. I'm like, woo, zippy. And I'm like, it's just different wheels have it's like a different car. I think if you get into a different car and drive, it drives a little different than the other car. So, you like it. You like this is new again. And so rotating them to me is like the best in the world. So that's just my thoughts. So we got first of all, Fresh Bone says, I'm shibby on any curb. yeah, we're all shibby on the curb, buddy. And Sean Wellesby says, I have an S22 and want a new one, but I do a lot of off-road. What should I order? As the Veteran is looking better than the V14. Well, I'll let you answer that. He's an off-roader riding an S22. I got my opinion, but you're more seen more wheels than I have. So
I don't know. It's just so, because he didn't mention the Extreme. He didn't mention the EX30. How big is he? What kind of does he want a wheel? Like that's 22 is more range limited.
Yeah.
Does he
off-road?
Does he want to
off-road S22? I would probably say the V14 or the Extreme.
Yeah, don't shortchange the Extreme. I mean, the Extreme. There were a lot of Extremes on the Tour.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm seeing is great things about the Extreme.
Yeah, there was a lot of Extremes. The crew that came from Canada to the Wheel Life Rally, which I'm wearing here, by the way, people. the team that came out from Canada to the Wheel Life Rally, they all had Extremes and they were kicking ass on those Extremes. They absolutely loved them. So it was a lot of competition on the Extreme. So I would tell you to look at the Extreme and the V14.
And you're going to save. And you're going to save money on the Extreme versus the.
Yeah.
Why don't you comment on the prices on the eWheel site for those three wheels?
Okay, so let's see. If we're starting, well, this is the Lynx, but you can't really count this yet because I don't think the Lynx is one of the ones that you should be looking at anyway. But
you're not? Why?
$36.99. Just because I don't think the Lynx. I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like off-road. Well, he said off-road, not jumping. But thinking about the S22, if you're just doing off-road, then actually it has that. I love the hydraulic suspension in all conditions. So this one's $36.99, and then the V14.
Wait, I thought the Lynx was really. I thought the Lynx was going to be over 4,000.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Maybe I was looking at the after price. The price is $32.99 for the V14, and let me go back here. Oh, yeah, $41.99 for the Lynx. You're right. I was looking at the other price after the deposit. So $32.99 for the V14 and $41.99 for the Lynx.
So that's and the Extreme. I think you get the Extreme for like the price. If you shop around, you can get it probably close to the V14 price.
Oh, well,
If you shop around, maybe not the eWheels price, but
yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I didn't even see what they have. What is that? the InMotion V11Y with orange on it. I didn't even see that. $29.99 for the Extreme. $29.99. Wow.
Where?
This is eWheels.
That doesn't include the deposit, probably, right?
It just says it's in stock, and that's the price that it's not even talking about the deposit, just the overall price. Yeah, it says $29.99. Yep.
Wow, I didn't realize you could. That's like that's a pretty good price. I mean,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now,
yeah,
here's
wow.
here's
So
something that I was looking at, and I don't know if it's accurate. Maybe you could tell me, Marty, if you've heard about it yet. Let me see if I can find what was the other thing I was looking at. Not there. It was. Oh no, I think I closed the page. I was looking at the. There's Marty's page, by the way, people, on YouTube. I'm sure you guys already know. He's got over 10,500 subs. Go, Marty! No. I think I closed this. I had the page open on, it was the Commander Pro GT. And
oh yeah, and I don't know much. Yeah, I don't really know much about that.
oh
So
man, I gotta try and pull it up. I'm gonna pull us back to us and try and pull it up in the background because I had it up and then I guess I closed that page by mistake. But I was looking at it and it has great stats and I don't know if it's
they're
accurate
building
because what I was looking
they're,
at.
they're building good wheels. I mean, every time they come out with a competition, right? I mean, the Commander Pro, the Mini, they've all been pretty
Hmm.
good wheels, and it's
Yep.
interesting. They all have the fork suspension too, just like
Yep.
the Shermans.
That hydraulic suspension to me is a home run, but I'm not jumping with it. So, I'm not doing big jumps and stuff. So maybe that's to me I would still be all in on the hydraulic suspension. I just love the feel of it better than um
Hmm.
what Begode is doing and what everybody else is doing. The arm shock suspension. I know that you can customize it and that's the real thing there. But I want to try that progressive spring that they got there on the V14 because I'm hoping that I'm thinking that may give me another idea or another feel. Because so far I haven't found that
It's not,
thing
it's
yet.
not, it's not going to make it feel like it's not going to make it. I don't think you're going to be impressed then. I mean, it's not going to make it feel anything like the Shermans.
Okay.
The
Um,
hydraulic gives you that plush, softer ride that doesn't seem to want to bottom out.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
But right, but the V14 won't. I don't think it's going to want to bottom out, but it's not going to be the plush. It's not going to be as soft of a ride.
Right. Okay. Well, I think it'll be better than what the others have had. Right? Is that probably the best of that type of suspension you've ridden so far?
Uh, boy, I don't know. It's because it depends what. Well, people are modifying which you should be able to modify the V14 suspension too, because obviously it's just like the Begode. You can change out, you can put different uh, shocks in it, right? And
Right.
like I put a coil shock on my EX30, and I love it. It's softer than the one that comes from the factory. I
Right.
did the same thing on my Master to give it a softer ride.
Yeah, I
Um,
rode yours at AVS last year.
Yeah, and I
Um,
know because you're slightly on a bigger side that it's a little too soft for you.
yeah. Yeah, I needed a thicker spring. I needed something to it,
Yeah,
and oh, and my plan last year was I'm gonna be lighter next year. I'm heavier than I was last. Yeah, I'm not doing good. But yeah, here's the Commander GT Pro. It says 3,000 watt. What got me was the voltage, 168 volt wheel, 10 amp
yeah.
charger. But like I said, I don't know if this is all accurate because this is just something that was put up here, but it's from Millie Begode, so I assume it is.
I
Um,
bet it. I bet it is.
48
Yeah.
MOSFETs, 1200 amps, um, a Maxxis tire, semi hot melt tire, no load speed of 200 kilometers per hour. That's a 124 miles per hour, people.
What's a battery? What's a battery?
3,000 watt hour.
No. Oh,
160
3,000 watt hour. Yeah.
Yeah, 3,000 watt
Interesting.
hour and 168 volt.
It's interesting that the, another smallish battery size, right?
Yeah. It's like they're up in the voltage, but they're not going super big on the battery. They're trying to keep the weight down, it seems. So, but that 10
Yeah.
amp charger is really good.
Yeah. Wow. At
Yeah,
100, wow. That's gonna pump a lot of power into that wheel fast.
100-mile-an-hour wheel, Marty. Just,
Yeah, it's
just
wow.
wrap your brain around that. 100-mile-per-hour wheel.
And if that's actually possible, someone's gonna do it too.
Well, they're doing it. You mean someone's
Well,
gonna
no,
ride it?
no,
Yeah. At
someone's gonna
100,
actually,
yes.
there will be some crazies that would, I can't believe that's gonna actually be possible though,
I,
100. And
Look, I don't know.
the wind, the wind resistance alone would be, I think, just too much. 100, you know how much wind resistance you're getting at 40 miles an hour. I've I've gotten close to 40, and that's you're dealing with a lot of wind now times, and and that's not a linear relationship as the speed increases.
Look,
Uh,
I know that if it's a windy day, again, like you said, I don't like going that fast because I can feel it, and the instability of not having more. That's another reason why, like you said, bigger wheels. If you're doing high speed, you need a bigger wheel because you need something heavier, bigger to help you in that wind because it's no joke, you know.
yeah, they should go for like a 24-inch tire for those kind of
Hey,
speeds,
the Monster Pro, I love that big ass tire, you know.
right?
So Primo asked, he said, I feel like the more different types of wheels you ride, the better rider you are. Do you agree, Cobra and Marty, or do y'all have a more nuanced thought on having more wheels? No, I agree.
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah,
But the variety makes you a better rider because you have to
yeah,
get on every different wheel that behaves differently. And um, I can pretty much jump on any wheel and ride it and not feel like I'm going to fall off or anything because
yeah,
I'm just used to always riding different wheels.
yeah. That's a bonus of being able to try all these different wheels. It gives you that ability to just adjust quickly on the fly. And I feel the same way. Like you can put me on anything. I can ride it and have fun on it. It's just how much do I like it? How comfortable am I on it? And whether I want to keep it. So,
Right.
but I'm like you too, though, Marty. You want to keep everything.
Yeah, I'm trying not to though.
Yeah, yeah, I am too. I look. I got the assassin over there. Well, that's not the actual assassin, people, just so you know.
Yeah,
But
thank
my
you.
version of it, and I got it because I was like, it's very different. I wanted to have something little and something that doesn't intimidate people. Like I take that around. I'm like, hey, you want to try it? Sure, because
Yeah,
it's
right.
not intimidating, you know.
You, you don't you don't introduce it as the assassin though, do you, when you do
No, well, I do tell him that this is the wheel that broke Marty's ankle, but I mean,
that? Oh, great.
no, I don't. Sean says, I'd love to own both wheels, but can only afford one of them. But if you had to choose off road, which would you choose?
Okay. But
Out of the
what does
two we
off road
talked
mean?
about,
But off road means different things to different people. Does
it
off
does.
road mean mellow kind of trails, or does off road mean steep, bumpy rocks, boulders that you got to jump over and jump down? What kind of trail riding does that mean? If it's the latter, then I would probably lean towards the V14 because of the suspension and the tighter suspension, and there's a smaller wheel, which is definitely easier to maneuver trails, and it's still got the tall pedals. But if it's trails more mellow, just flattish, it's hard to describe those kind of trails, then probably the Lynx because I think that suspension is
Comfy.
going to be butter. It's going to be.
Yeah. Yep. So, Electric Unicycle is saying a few things here. He says, "Don't use the lift switch on the Extreme, mates. A brand new Extreme blew the board." Um, I haven't
Yep.
heard a lot of that happening. Have you, Marty?
Well, there was a firmware. Roger, if he's still in the chat, he might pipe in there. But there was some firmware. One of the firmware iterations, it was susceptible to blowing a board if you use the
Yeah.
lift switch in certain conditions. But I
Oh yeah.
believe they rolled out new firmware that addressed that.
Huh. Um. So Electric Unicycle says I can get the Extreme delivered for 1,900 US. Man, that's a hell of a deal. Take it. Take it.
Yeah.
I would. I honestly, after them having it at the rally, I was thinking about it. I'm like, do I need one of those though? And I'm like, no. But I was supposed to swap out the Master for the EX30, and I didn't. I never ended up doing it.
Come on, come on. Do I need one of those? Meanwhile, I look over your shoulder and
One,
do you
two,
need? Yeah,
three.
come on.
There's four. One in the other
That's
room.
yeah.
But
So that's not what you're. Yeah.
that's all I got though. Because remember, my agreement was 3 wheels. I was only supposed to ever keep 3, and then I got the baby here that made 4.
But that's your agreement with your wife.
Yes, 3 wheels.
Look, okay. I thought you've been around the block longer than almost as long as me. But I need to tell you this, I guess. Why does your wife know how many wheels you have? My wife doesn't know whether I have 6 wheels or 12 wheels. You should be able to buy a wheel without her even noticing. Come on, work on that.
That's funny you say that because when I was talking about that in previous live streams, people said that to me. They're like, "Man, put it in the other room."
Yeah. My wife does not. I'm assuming like your wife, she doesn't ride UC, so
No, she hates them.
all she knows is generality. I have a bunch, but
Yeah.
she couldn't tell one from another, so I could get a couple more in, and she'd never know.
Oh,
And I
well,
I balance the checkbook, so
yeah. Well, there you go.
that might be your problem too. You need to say, honey, let me balance a checkbook for the future. I'll take care of the finance.
She'd love that. She's like, "Yeah, you handle it." And I'm like, but I'm so bad with money. That's my weakness. I'm so bad with money. I know how to spend it, but
Okay.
accounting
Well,
for
that's
it,
your,
oh, I'm terrible.
well, that's okay. Well, that's your problem then. You got to take over the finances and then I'd start hiding wheels.
So Sean is asking. He said the price for me is 200 euro difference between the V14 and the Lynx. But should I get the Lynx as the speed for when I do street riding is making it more appealable than the V14? Again, depending on your size, because if you're a big guy, you'd be more comfortable on the
Right.
bigger Lynx. If you're doing extreme off-road and doing jumps, you'd probably like the V14 better, maybe, because the suspension is that type. So it depends if you're doing, like Marty said, if you're doing light off-roading, then I would definitely say go with the Lynx. If you're bigger, I would say go with the Lynx. If you're smaller and you're doing jumps and extreme off-road, I would say go with the V14 or the Extreme. But
Yeah, but now we can't ignore we can't ignore reality though. Reality though. Veteran makes great wheels, and they
they
have
do.
a really good reputation for the robustness of the wheels, for the reliability. You know, the argument could be made that InMotion does not have that reputation in terms of reliability, and InMotion does have a reputation. I
Quality.
want to be honest. I want to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the quality, but they don't have a reputation for making it easy to get parts because
No.
any wheel can break down, even the best of them.
Yep.
And they have a reputation of after parts support is not that great.
Veteran is the new
So
is the
uh,
new kid on the block. So yeah. It's probably, I don't know. I can tell you right now, everything Veteran has made, I have been a fan of, except that one
yeah,
that
yeah,
shall
we all
not be
know
named.
the one that shall not be named. But yeah, they've been hitting out of the ballpark.
Yeah. So
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. So
It's hard to say.
uh,
You have to make that decision there, Wellsby. We
yeah,
can only give you a little guidance, but you ultimately have to feel what you feel. I know that if I had a choice, because I'm bigger, the Lynx would win
yeah.
with the
Oh,
suspension. If I had
definitely.
a choice between those two wheels, for me, the Lynx would win hands down without even riding the two. Um, and that's just me. So Curtis is asking, is maintenance scheduled for that hydraulic suspension more than the spring or the air suspensions? I'm not really clear on what maintenance you're supposed to do on hydraulic because I haven't done any. So,
Yeah, I
Marty?
haven't. No, I have heard a few stories of bad experience with the brake seals which have broken, that kind of stuff.
But I know
You've
that
heard those too, right?
if you have, yeah, and I think if you have a problem with it, you just swap it out. But I don't think there's really a maintenance. Whereas
No,
the other
but
suspensions, there's things you can do.
but the hydraulic suspension will be pricier to fix.
Yeah.
On the Gold or the V14, it's got the tubes on the side with a spring inside, but they're not hydraulic. Those things should last forever. So the only thing that's going to break on those wheels would be the shock on the back, the coil shock, and you can buy replacements for $100 range or less
Mm-hmm.
for that. And those are generally the coil shocks, those things are pretty robust compared to an air shock. So, yeah, but I don't know.
Electric Unicycle is saying Begode trying to kill people again. 100 miles per hour.
That's Extreme Bull. That's not the goat.
Yeah, see? Same difference. No. That's his cousin, whatever. His brother or whatever. Primo says Extreme Bull takes Leaper Kim wheels and makes them better. I don't know about better. They all do a lot of copying
Yeah,
off each other, though.
yeah.
You know what I want, Marty? After going to Amped this year, I want the what is it? The K6, K4, K6, whatever, the sit down one there.
K6.
K6.
I
That's
rode
what it
that.
was.
I rode that a couple weeks ago.
That thing is
It's
insane.
wild.
I had
It's like
so much fun on that thing. I wanted one instantly.
it's scary fast. The
Scary
acceleration
fast.
and yeah,
I was giggling again. I was like, whoa!
yeah. I know. It's funny when I rode it. Same thing. There were a couple of us that had never ridden it before, and we're all kind of laughing when you ride it. It makes
Yeah.
you laugh because the power is. It's like people. It's like people getting a Tesla for the first time. They do
Yes.
that crazy
Exactly.
mode, and it
Yeah.
plasters you back in the
Ludicrous.
seat.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, you can't help but kind of laugh and just like be
Yeah.
impressed.
I still don't have an electric car, but I want one so bad. And I rented a Kia EV6 twice in the last few weeks. And same thing. I put it in sport mode and I'm like, woo! Having a blast. I gotta pick one up soon. Probably next year. I'll probably buy one. Jump into my first electric car. Still deciding whether to go Tesla or because there's so many options now, Tesla or Kia. Kia's got a SUV that I'm thinking about getting, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. But that same feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach with that
Yeah,
extreme acceleration as what you get on the K6.
The
And
K6, it's not cheap though. It's
no, oh
I don't
no,
know.
it's I didn't even look at the pricing.
For the
Um,
amount that I would ride it, I just couldn't justify buying it.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, UC
and
Vibes is in the house. What up, Tommy?
hey Tommy, I told him, hey, you should join the live stream today.
Yeah.
But the K6 also, it's not very practical for transporting around. You need a
Yeah.
whole nother setup.
Well, I got a Dodge Ram pickup, so I just toss everything in the back and I'm good. But I don't want to keep it. I want to swap it out for an EV, electric car. So then I would have trouble with transporting the EV6,
Right.
K6. But I really wanted it though. It was nuts. It was really nuts. Tangible Day, what's up? That's my man Andrew. Matter of fact, Andrew has a Tesla. So he can understand that. Living with a Tesla is crazy. I've been texting him back and forth. I sent pics of the EV6 when I rode it, and same thing. He just like the feeling. Once you've been in one, you want that feeling again.
Yeah, there's quite a few people out in the local community in Southern California, riders that have Teslas.
Yeah.
Definitely popular.
Yeah, Roger has his. So I definitely want one, but I again, I don't know if I want the Tesla Model Y or the Kia has the EV9 is about to come out. Excuse me, it's an actual SUV though. And I said, so it won't have exactly the same takeoff, but it will have that same speed, electric feel, but not quite as fast. Instead of 3 seconds, it does it in like 4 seconds.
Garbage. So what would the Tesla be like the Begode of electric cars, and would the Kia be like the InMotion?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I do like I do like the new wheel. I mean, all the new EVs, like the options. That's the one thing that Tesla doesn't have is the inside of the car has nothing. It's just the screen, and that's it. When you get into all these other cars, they give you a lot of options, and I'm like,
they kind of look like regular cars inside, versus the Tesla is very Spartan.
Yeah,
right.
But they give you a lot of new options. Yes, it's like a car, but they have this long screen instead of the Tesla screen is longer this way, but theirs are more horizontal, and it went all the way across. I was like, it's like 2 screens together, and I was like, man, I really like this. The Kia EV6 is really sporty, and the GT version is 576 horsepower. Mr. Turbo's over here talking about nothing like a V8. Turbo, get in a Tesla or an EV and you tell me it's nothing like it. You get in one and tell me.
So how much are those Kias?
The Kias are they're about maybe 58, 60. So I mean, a lot of the cars are comparable now, so it's
It's still a lot of. I've never spent that kind of money in a car though. Wow.
No, neither have I. So I'm thinking about it. What up, Devo? I'm thinking about it too. I just don't know. Like, I'm having trouble pulling the trigger because of that, Marty. I'm like $60,000-$70,000 a lot of money on a car, and I'm about to retire in the next year and a half. I'm like, that's gonna be my gift to myself, I guess. But I'm like, do I want that expensive of a gift to myself? I don't know.
Because you can think back to when you were young, and that was like approaching the cost of a house.
Yeah. Oh, easily. I bought my first house for less than that. So
it's crazy.
Easily, my first house was $50,000. So, yeah, things have changed. But anyway, we digress. We are looking at these crazy wheels and talking about the speed for those that just jumped in, that weren't. Somebody said buy used Supercat. That's a good idea. I might do it. For those of you who did not see what we were talking about, we started out talking about the InMotion V14. I'm gonna put it up behind us here. We were talking about this first, and the fact that Marty broke it.
Hey, I didn't break it.
And then we went on to the Veteran Lynx and how good this one is, and the comparison they have on if you guys are interested, look at eWheel's website. They do have a great comparison between the Lynx, the Patton, and the Sherman S. Shouts out to Jason from eWheels, by the way. And as a matter of fact, I need to talk to Jason because I want to try these two wheels out. So I'm gonna see if I can get him to send them my way. I know he's got them. You have them out there, and he sent them also out. Jimmy Chang, I think, has both of them as well from Jason. But I want to test these out. So, but he has a good comparison on his website, and then you can see all the different wheels. We were talking about the Extreme. There's just so many new wheels. If you look at the eWheels website, it is ludicrous how many new wheels we have.
I know.
It really is. But we were also talking about Mini Begode put up a post about the Commander GT Pro, the first 100-mile-per-hour wheel. That's just nuts.
Well, I think I'll definitely be getting one for testing.
I know you will. But
yeah.
Marty, if you get one, you have to go over 100 miles an hour.
No, no. I'll loan it to Dawn. I'll let her try it.
Yeah, she'll do that. Dawn will do 100 miles an hour. Dawn is she's our daredevil. Her and Roger will do it too. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I can tell you right now, I would love having a wheel that I could say does 100 miles an hour, but I damn sure ain't doing it. Ain't doing it.
Like so many people ask, people and wherever they say, "Oh, how fast does that go?" Of course, right? And
yep.
But quite often now, I can say, look at the wheel and say, "Oh, it goes 50."
Yep.
I don't mention that I never go 50, but they always assume that you go 50, right? But you'll be able to say, "Oh, yeah, it goes 100." Crazy.
So Andrew says, but will the GT Pro make it up Overheat Hill? I guess you'll have to stay tuned to find out.
Well, fortunately, Overheat Hill is not much of a test anymore. It had its day, but wheels are so powerful. But this little anecdotal story is the day that the V14 failed that morning. It failed in the mid-afternoon. I was going outside to turn it on. I was geared up. I was going to take it to Overheat Hill. I didn't think it would be a challenge, but it's a good test to see how hot the wheel runs.
Yeah.
Going up it. But what's funny is the V11 I had a demo V11. I was doing all kinds of testing, and towards the end of the testing, I took it to Overheat Hill. I have a video on that where I'm at the base of Overheat Hill. I put the wheel down on its side, and when I pick it up to turn it back on, it was dead. The control board had died.
Yeah.
So I've had two InMotion wheels with the board died when I turned it back on.
I don't know. You just be. I'm gonna call you Gunner. You just be shooting these wheels up, Marty. I don't. Here's a couple of things. Spartacus, you ain't right. He said, just don't get your demo wheel after Obsum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that off the screen real quick.
Yeah. Let's not go there, but
nope, we gonna let that go. So, and then Chris Clinton had one of the best comments I seen on the GT with over 100 miles an hour, right? He said a cutout on that is skipping the ER and straight to the morgue.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be like skipping stones. You'll just be skipping along the road for
until you hit something.
Yeah.
that maximum deceleration trauma. You just boom. That's what they tell you. A fall from great height doesn't kill you. It's the quick stop at the bottom. So
that is a real concern now at these higher speeds. If you fall and you happen to one of the ride, did you happen to see the video where Roger got took out by a local rider who he
Yeah,
carved rapidly right?
right into him. Yep.
Well, it's not known, but he, not Roger, the guy who took him out, he slid into the back of a car in a
Yeah.
bumper,
Saw it.
and he broke his leg. He
Crazy.
broke his tibia from so, and I think he broke part of his foot too. I mean, and that wasn't going all that fast. So if you have a high speed cutout and you're in a bad place when that happens, and you have to slide into a fixed pole or something like that, that
Yeah.
could kill you
Yeah.
or
It definitely
really cause
could.
damage.
Definitely could. Oh, Mikey Grillo, I forgot to say what's up to you earlier, brother. Good to see you, man. But he said 16-inch wheels did very well at the Wheel Life Rally, but not enough to make the podium. Well, we did have some real standouts, but I'm just saying that the conditions that we have there are not conducive to like easy riding. It takes a lot to ride at the rally. Not everybody. So it's not just the wheel, the fortitude of the rider, and the ability to
Mhm.
stay in there and use your core and really dig it out is it's definitely a test of any wheel and any rider. So
I think
um,
20-inch wheel, that's the sweet spot for racing,
I
I
think so
think.
too. I think it's just, honestly, I think the 20-inch wheel is the sweet spot for everything. Um,
Yeah, I
I,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
I think every wheel should be 20 inches, or if you're doing long rides or super high speed, I think it needs to be
Right.
24. I think that Commander GT Pro at 100 mile an hour, I think it should be a 24-inch wheel. I know it ain't, but
What size is the tire, by the way?
it
I
doesn't
forget.
say.
What
But they're not big on making big wheels anymore, so I
pro-
don't think it's gonna be
probably
that big.
20.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a 20.
And there's still place for the smaller wheels for, of course,
Yeah,
some stuff, and yeah.
yeah. EUC Lifer says y'all gotta try to hit at least 75 miles per hour. Listen, homie, no, we don't. No, we don't. Me and Marty are what you call elder statesmen and senior riders, and we don't
Yeah.
gotta do 75 miles an hour. No, we don't.
No.
Yo, not
It,
happening.
it it's great to achieve a certain age and wisdom where you don't have
Yeah,
to prove yourself anymore.
yeah.
So,
Uh, what's up, Wade Powell? Good to have you here, man. I know you said you just got off work, jumped in. Glad you jumped in. But yeah, let me tell you, it doesn't matter what happens. You can only push me so much. I love to ride and I have fun, and I'll compete, having fun, going back and forth, zip, zip, zip. But there's only so much you're gonna get me to do because I ain't no dummy, and you
all right.
can't force me to do nothing I don't want to do. So I'm only gonna go so fast, and that's it. Now I would probably hit 50 miles an hour. I've gotten up to 48. And
Really?
I know I would do 50 just to say I did it. And actually I think 48, but I can't remember. I might have hit 50 already. Actually, I do remember looking at one of the apps and it said I hit 50, but I don't remember when I did it. But I know that that's not a normal occurrence for me. Riding
And that
around 40
and
is
you weren't cruising at 50. That was like
no.
you might have touched it
Touch
and
it.
then
That's it. Yeah. No, I'm never going that fast. I'm usually around 40, maybe 35, 40 is usually my window of operation, because I
really.
like
So
the,
you're wow,
yeah,
that's so you're just cruising speed is 40-ish.
yeah. I like to
Wow.
cruise between 35 and 40. That's
Yeah.
where that's like my comfort zone on a nice size wheel is
Okay.
35 to 40. That's like I feel comfortable there. I don't feel like I'm flying, but I feel comfortable. And then when something happens and we need to turn it up, I turn it up a little bit. And then when it's too crazy, I turn it down a little bit. But I feel like 35 to 40 is a good window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, Marty, about these wheels, um, since you're one of the first to get them, I know a couple other people. I think Ronan posted something the other yesterday or today about the Lynx, and there might be somebody else. Oh, Sean is asking what's the IP rating on the Lynx, because he knows the V14 is talking about how waterproof it is. Let me see here. I don't know if the Lynx, does it have an IP rating? I don't even know. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
says the Lynx has a Kenda tire. It says.
Mine has a CST. So
Yeah, so yours is an early version. So I don't know
yeah,
if it's whether they
they
changed
probably
it completely.
they probably just didn't have any in stock. So they said, let's put on one of those crappy ones and send it off to Marty.
Well, that's what happened before. they, they stuck it on there, and then all the release versions had a different tire. So it's possible. I don't see the IP rating here, but there's a whole lot of stuff to read through. Check the website here, and you might be able to read through that. I'm not gonna read through all the small fine print here, but I don't see anything that talks about the IP rating of it. I don't think it's anywhere near what InMotion is pushing on their V14 though.
It looks pretty good though. I mean, when I look at it, I don't see how water's gonna. I haven't opened up the control panel yet, but I'm hoping it has an actual gasket and they didn't just put silicone like they did in the S. I think it's the S that just has that silicone. They didn't actually use a gasket, which I think is really crappy.
Okay, I did like you did, Marty. I was I was saying, you can see here, and I didn't even have the website up. Now you can see it. Now I have it up on the screen. I was talking like I had it up. But if you look at the tire, Marty, it says Kenda K265 Nabi and CST C6501 street tire. So it's saying that the Nabi is supposed to be the Kenda, and then the street tire is supposed to be the CST.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
I got the CST Nabi though on mine.
Yeah, that's because you're special, Marty. You're special.
Yeah.
That, or they said Marty's gonna break it anyway. Just send him.
Yeah.
No, I really was surprised when I saw your video that it's broken. I was like, no, because a lot of people excited about seeing what these two wheels can do.
The V14, just to clarify, the V14 is what's broken.
Yes, the V14. I'll switch it over. This is the one that's broken right now. The control board and the hall sensor are both gone, and he's going to swap them out when he gets the parts, but it's probably going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get the parts.
Meanwhile, the other guys have those wheels, and really can't believe, like Jimmy Chang, he has a Lynx, but his was delivered with the batteries.
Yeah.
Apparently mine, for some reason, talking to Jason, he's not sure why, but whoever they use as the shipper, there was an issue, so they shipped the batteries separately. Because I was actually the first one based on I'm in Southern California, and that's the wheels come in to the West Coast first. So I was the first one to have it, yet I'm the last guy riding one. Oh well.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that one's yours. So
yeah, I'm not gonna bitch and moan too much.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get any damn sympathy from over here, Marty.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
I don't feel bad for you, Marty.
Thanks. I appreciate your support.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I guess we're good, Marty. Unless there's anything else you wanted to add, I just wanted to share your experience. I can see your excitement for the Lynx and riding it. I can tell that you really want to ride it. I'm feeling the same way just looking at it. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I'm just really looking forward to it. And I'm just so happy that I finally have my own personal suspension veteran wheel, because I just didn't end up getting an S or a Patton, right? So I'm really excited to have my own.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yeah, I never, I don't know, just timing, and I don't know. Yeah, I just never had access. I've never even ridden a Patton. Never even. I've had opportunities,
Yeah,
but I know I did ride the Sherman S a little bit, and I do know the suspension is really nice. So
yeah,
and this gonna be it's gonna be the same thing.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I had the same situation. I had the opportunity to ride a Patton, and I didn't even think of it when I was at one of the group rides. Matter of fact, Primo's ride there in Worcester. We did the Worcester takeover, and there was a guy and his son had their wheel, and I think they had the Patton with them, and I didn't even think to be like, hey, can I try it? I didn't even think about it until later, and I was like, oh man, it was right next to me. I didn't even think
Yeah.
to jump on it, but Veteran makes great wheels, so you know, I'm happy with what they're doing. That's for sure. And what was the other thing? I just saw something here I wanted to mention in the chat real quick. Oh, Mikey said, imagine hitting those speeds over 100 miles an hour on new, freshly laid highway pavement. Highway and had highway to yourself. Oh,
Oh yeah.
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I saw my first comedian talking about EUC riders.
Really?
Yeah, Mickey EVX. He shared a video clip with us of a comedian. I'll send it to you after, Marty. I
Wow.
would share it here, but I don't know if I could. I don't even remember. Was it
I have a
WhatsApp?
feeling it wasn't complimentary because they're probably a lot of people don't know what an EUC is, so they probably made something related to their dorks or some.
Well, no. He was using us. I mean, he was using us to make fun of us, but he wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
He was talking about the bike lane. He said, "I'm seeing shit in the bike lane. I don't even know what it is." And he said,
Oh,
and then
just
he
it's
said,
one wheel.
he said an electric longboard. What the hell is that? And then he said a electric bicycle. And then he said some shit about that. And he said, and have you seen these guys? And he took a stool and he stepped up on the sides of the stool like he was riding a wheel. He said, "The wheel guys, have you seen these
Really?
guys?" He was
That's
pretty.
cool.
It was pretty funny, but I was like, "Yes, we made it to the mainstream
Yeah,
comedy. You
that's
can talk
cool.
shit about us. That's fine. I love it." uh, oh, Chris, Turbo said he has it. You gonna send it to me? Because that it was pretty funny. Yeah, I'll share it with you if he doesn't send it over. But I don't want to get into it now because I feel like, should I really share this guy's comedy bit on here? I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
will post it up because I don't remember what else he said. But I will post it up because it was pretty funny and we made the mainstream, Marty.
That's cool.
I know you said, and we've all said we want it to be more popular because we want more people riding. But then again, it is nice to be unique.
Yeah, it's it's good to be popular, but not too popular, right? We
Yeah.
don't want to become like bicyclists because I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way. I'm like, I want it to be more mainstream, just more recognizable, just because when you talk about it, there's a lot of people like, oh no, you're crazy. I would never do I'm like, okay, it's not crazy, it's fun.
right? Well, we've come a long way. I think back, like when I'm out and about riding now, because right when you ride and you pass people, you can't help but kind of look to see their reaction if there is any kind of reaction, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and a lot of times you don't see any reaction now, which means that they've seen us before, right?
Yeah.
But if you go back 4 years, 5 years, back then, it was like everyone you saw was like, "What is that?" And they didn't know. But you don't get those reactions much anymore. So
No.
that says we're recognizable now.
Yeah, when I still like the you get the beep, yo, and they wave from their car, or they're like, "That's incredible." I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Or the people that you're waiting at a stop sign maybe or a stoplight and turning traffic, and the
yep,
passenger will be in the car with their
their
phone
phone.
up, like get that.
Oh man, it's funny, but I don't know about you, but it's it still does the same thing for me though. And all the levity aside, it's still therapy. You know what I mean? I still feel like sometimes I need it. And when I get on the wheel and I go for a ride, I'm just like, it's like I
Oh,
decompress.
yeah. It's so special. Just literally 2 hours ago, I took my Mini to the grocery store about half an hour from here, my home. So I got on a wheel and I was just gliding on the sidewalk, doing little curves. Now, I remember thinking, oh, it's just so magical because you're just
Hmm.
gliding in the, it's so reactionary to your body. It's such a, after all these years, I
Hmm.
still think about that when I ride, and I love the experience.
It's still amazing. And when I have a bad day, I look at the wheels and I'm like, which one am I taking out? Because
Yeah,
one of them, because we're going on a ride, and I don't care if
right.
I'm going, like you said, to the grocery store. I'm going on a ride because
Yeah.
it's a necessity because it's so good. I can't I and I try to explain it to people, and they're like, you talk about it like, I said, yeah. The way I talk about it is like that
Yeah,
exhilarating. Like they're like, I
right.
when you just seem so into it. I said, because I tell you, if you ride it and you don't have this kind of reaction, you must be dead. Because there's no one I know that rides them that doesn't feel great when they're riding. It's just magical. And
But yet it's not for everyone because clearly there
no,
are people that we just had a local rider. He had a wheel problem last weekend, and he with his Master Pro,
yeah,
and he decided to give up, to hang it up. He got rid of the wheel, and he's just gonna spend more time on his motorcycles. And yeah, he was really into it for like a year ago. He was like really into it for half a
yeah,
year or something. So uh, everyone's different.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he may go back to motorcycles, but he can't take away the fact that these wheels are magic, and his
Oh
love
yeah.
for it. I what'll happen with him 6 months from now? He'll see a group of riders and he'll go, "Damn."
Right. And he's a younger guy, so maybe 10 years from now, when maybe the motorcycles will seem a little too dangerous, he'll
Yeah, yeah.
say, "Hey, let's check out EUCs again," and then he'll look them up and e-wheel sites, and he'll see like newest model, 200 miles an hour, and you'll think, "Oh God,
Yeah.
they're more
Um.
more dangerous than motorcycles now."
the uh the well Senior E moment in here said that he was riding on Halloween with his dog. That's the other thing. I like going on ride, taking my dog with me, and we'll go, and it gives her an opportunity to run, and me an opportunity to ride. Um, so that's another end of my day kind of good thing that I can do. Of course, I wished I lived in California where I could do it year round, but
Yeah, those January rides must be very nice.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Having to gear up to go around the corner because it's so cold. I went out the other day when it was cold, and I had fingerless gloves on, and
Uh-huh.
the hillbilly ones, and I'm like, whoo, whoo, my fingertips were like, whoo. I was like, yeah, this ain't a good idea. I should get the full finger ones.
I grew up in Chicago, and I remember I used to run when I was, teenager, and I can remember running in, January, February, literally when it was like 10 degrees below zero and stuff. And I'm just thinking, wow, if I lived back in that kind of weather with EUCs, probably wouldn't ride a lot in the winter. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, how fun can it really be to ride when it's sub-zero?
it's not.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
fun. It's not
Yeah,
fun.
so
Yeah, it's when it gets that cold, I just put them away. I'm like, yeah. So, but then when the spring comes around, I'm like, oh, oh, I get all excited like a kid again. Like, it's spring, it's spring. So yeah, that's what happens. When you have a cruise ride, yeah. So Rockabye says EUCs become most appealing when you have a crew to ride with. The joy of the ride is best when shared. This is true. I enjoy the single rides though when I'm in a bad mood or having a shitty day and I'm depressed. I enjoy the
Right.
singular rides because I can just be in my own head and not have to, deal with
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
else. It's just me. But I do love the group rides, and I wish I had more of them. I wish I had more of them. I wish there was more people here to ride with, and I have the group in Connecticut. That's where Tangible Day, who's in the chat, he's in that, and I have some people here, just a handful, but I get with the Connecticut guys because there's more over there, and we try to ride every now and then. But I wish I could do it more, and I know I will be able to soon. 4 months left in the military and a year and a half left in the police, so I'll soon,
Oh yeah. It's
soon.
gonna be by like that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great. But all right, Marty, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Everyone's giving me the same thing. They're asking if you had the choice between these two wheels, which would you take?
Well, yeah. Considering I haven't even ridden the Linux, but my gut is the Lynx.
Yeah, I
For
agree.
me.
I agree. Like, the S19. I enjoyed riding that. I thought it was a better ride than I thought it was going to be. I enjoyed riding it and I felt good on it, but I wouldn't buy it for me. I just
Mhm.
it's just not big enough, and I like a 20-inch wheel, and I feel like but it's a great wheel. It seems so far. I think a lot of people like it, but just not for me. And if I had to choose between these two wheels, even though both of them seem to be really good wheels, I would probably choose the Lynx.
Yeah, and so much depends on who you are because 43 top end is not really a fast wheel nowadays, right? For a lot of people, it's
No.
kind of like yeah, it's like yawn, so
And you
that's
reach it
what.
like I said, I cruise at like 35, 40.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
So
know
that's why again, emotion. I think internally they consider this a trail wheel. So
yeah.
that you should probably think people who are asking V14 or Lynx in your head, you should be asking, do I want a trail wheel or do I want a more general purpose street, very fast wheel? And
Hmm.
that would answer your question, I think. If you, yeah. So
Well, Rockabye said when a Master Pro comes out with 164-volt, it's gonna be a monster. Well, I know you just jump in Rockabye, but we were talking about it already. I'll put it back on the screen. The Commander Pro or Commander GT Pro is coming out with 168 volts. So it's already here, or coming. And I say here because it's Millie Begode that's putting it out. And Begode takes like a half a day to make a wheel.
yeah,
So,
but I don't know if everyone in the chat who's watching this in the future knows, but the Go formally has stopped production on the Master Pro. So there's no, and we don't know of any high capacity wheel in the works. Now, when Millie came out to the United States and she stopped in California, we went and ride around here and stuff. I did take her aside and I told her in my wish list. And I said, you guys got to make a even bigger wheel than the Master Pro. that there that there's a market out there for there is a market out there for these big wheels. They might not be wheels that are going to sell a lot immediately, but they could be like wheels that could sell a lot over time.
yeah,
Slow but steady.
yeah,
And there are people who would buy big wheels like that. So I'm hoping the Master Pro is not the last big wheel that they're going to make. But it's not. They made the Monster Pro. The Goat is always pushing the limits. So I can't believe the Master Pro is the last of their big wheels. You
yeah.
know.
I, I, I don't know. I still don't know if I should get the Master Pro or the EX30 or just wait for this Commander Pro GT or whatever. I know I need a I need
God.
I need a big wheel, a big powerful wheel, and I didn't get the EX30 or the Master Pro.
Yeah. The Master Pro is so magic. I went on a 160-mile ride last Sunday with the 6 of us. We had Master Pros. We only had one charge stop,
Oh my
and
God.
we were riding in the mountains, generally 25 to 30, 35 miles per hour sometimes. It's Yeah, it's just a glorious road wheel, man. I
Yeah.
just can't believe that would be the wheel for you.
Stop
Get
talking about
a
it, Marty. I don't have one.
I know, but you just said which one I should get. I'm just saying for you. Oh man, a Master Pro is like has your name right. I gotta look. I think I saw Irwin printed on the inside of mine somewhere. So
It's tough though, because then I see videos like Tommy UC Vibes. He hates his, he bent this and bent that, and this is not good, that's not good. I'm like, oh Lord. But then I see you and you love
no,
it, and I'm
yeah. No offense, Tommy, but I mean, sometimes you got to blame the rider, not the wheel. I mean,
Rockabye says the Master Pro is a symphony. Ah,
it's my. I can't say it's my. It's tough. It's not a general purpose wheel, but in terms of
no.
going out on long rides, it's the best wheel I've ever owned. It's just glorious with the seat on it and big tire, 22-inch tire, the power, the huge battery. Ah. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, and they now they're not producing anymore. So I mean, what am I supposed to do,
why?
Marty? I'm stuck.
No, you can still get it. I just talked to Jason. Well, let's see, yesterday, and he bought 30 just to have. So you can still buy them at E-Wheels.
All right, Jason, send me a Master Pro. If I ride it, then I'm gonna be in love with it. I won't send it back. uh, so, hey, you know what? Before we go, I did want to ask you something. I kept stalling because I was like, what was I gonna ask him? It was the Clark pedals. Have you ridden the new Clark pedals that he just came out with yet?
No, I just saw him like I
Yeah.
guess a lot of us. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
ridden
so
with him.
shouts out to Chris Clark, Clark pedals or Clark pads. His pedals are coming. He's sending a set to me, and I can't wait to try them out because they look incredible.
Really? Oh, lucky
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I love those
He's
pedals.
Clark pads. I mean, he's Chris Clark. I mean, that's his first name, Chris. I
Yep.
mean, he's continuing to innovate. He just
Yeah,
came out with he's got a new setup for the Extreme wheel that looks really
yep,
cool and fast to install. So
yeah. I didn't get the Commander
yeah,
Pro one, so he's sending the Commander Pro pad setup too. Because right now the Commander Pro's the wheel. If I had a choice, I would ride the Commander Pro first and then the Sherman S second, actually. Um, just because it's the Commander, excuse me, is a little faster geared. The Sherman
right.
S, when you put it into high speed mode, which I have it in, I can ride faster, but like I said, there's less safety. Whereas the Commander Pro is made to go that fast without having to switch it into high
Yeah.
speed mode. So
It's again, that's why someone said that earlier in the conversation in the chat that Extreme Bow is, you know, better than or they make copies of Veteran but better, and then you kind of like push back against that, but
yeah,
actually, you know, they made the copy of the Sherman S, the Commander Pro, but it was 134 volt, right?
yeah.
And it turns out that's a impressive wheel, and just those
Honestly, you're right. I didn't think it was initially because I don't like the look of it. I
Yeah.
didn't like the Commander.
Right.
I
Right.
never got it because I thought it was ugly. I didn't like the look of it. And the Commander Pro, it did because it's 134 volt. I'm like, that's just better than the Sherman S. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. And I ultimately loved it. And now I'm like, well, damn. But the Sherman S, I love the body style. I love the
I,
bars that it has in the front better. I love the
I
kickstand
totally,
that it
yeah,
has on it better. Um,
totally get it. Totally
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
But Extreme Bowl,
That's the best
uh,
to me. The look of it. I
yeah.
love that wheel.
But the Commander, refreshing people's mind, when the Commander came out, that was competing against the veteran, the Sherman, but it was 3,600 watt hour battery, biggest battery ever made on that form factor.
Yeah.
Actually, actually, when that came out, that was the first 3,600 watt hour wheel, or was it? I can't remember. Maybe the Monster Pro was first,
Yeah, the Monster
but in
Pro.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, but in that form factor. So I'm just saying, Extreme Bow actually is breaking records when they come
Oh,
out
they
with new
are.
wheels. So
Yeah.
this GT is probably going to do the same thing. It's
Yeah. I guess I have to. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm thinking about the Sherman S a lot, but honestly, right now, like I said, my go-to wheel is the Commander Pro. So if the Commander GT Pro is all that, I would automatically
right.
jump on it anyway. So,
That says a lot. My Commander Pro is down right now.
oh,
The Grizzly guys, they came. I loaned it to Arik. He's
yep,
one of he's the Grizzly guy, and
yep.
you've met him, right?
I met him at
And
Amped. Yeah.
and he broke it on the tour. It's not really his part. See, I had the very first demo of the Commander Pro, so it had the plastic rubber mudguard on the
Uh-huh.
inside. I assume yours is metal. You've got the one with metal.
I think so. I
It's
can't
got a
remember, but I think so. Yes.
metal.
Yeah, I haven't
It's got the
upgraded though,
metal.
so yes.
Yeah, so you don't have the adapter to charge it like I have a
No.
dongle I have to charge it with.
Yeah.
But that rubber plastic finally just totally fell apart. So midway through one of the rides, so I I got to get with Jason to get the retrofit kit so I can install the metal.
Yeah.
But I love every time I rode that Commander Pro. Yeah, it's a
It
nice
is.
wheel.
It is. Actually what did it for me was Vegas. When we were in Vegas for the of course my senior moment, can't remember the name of the event, but for the skateboards that we did, the the event there, they had it out there. Brian Dillard had it.
Yeah,
Eastgate Con. Couldn't think of
he's
it to save
racing
my
it.
life. Yeah, he was racing it,
Right.
and I was like, I said, "Can I ride?" He said, "Yeah." So I took it out, and I was like, "Ooh." I was like, I kind of am in love right now. It's 134 volts. It's got the extra kick. It's like I said, I think I may want this one, and then I ultimately bought it right away. So
That's what,
yeah,
and that's what Brian, he won the Amped Games with that, right?
yeah, yeah.
He's racing the Commander Pro. So
So somebody said here that the EX30 may be the best all-around wheel besides the Lynx.
uh, I I would probably tend to agree. For me, primarily because of the battery size. Because
Really?
the Lynx is 2,700 versus 3,600, right?
Yeah, but would you all best all-around wheel?
Well, yeah, only because of the battery size. Obviously, I've never ridden a Lynx yet. I'm just looking at it,
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm not really
but
talking about the Lynx. I'm talking more about the
oh, what
EX30. EX30.
I thought he said, what was the question? I
He
thought it
said
was
he
Lynx
said the
compared
EX30 is probably the best all-around wheel other than the Lynx.
other than the Lynx,
Right.
right? But that implies that the Lynx is the most. You said
Right.
other than the Lynx, that implies
But
the Lynx is best all around,
yes, but
which
taking that out of the equation, my problem with that statement is I don't know that I would say the EX30 is the best all around, only because I'm
really,
thinking of off road, thinking
I,
of
I to me, I think it's a best all. I don't
yeah,
know. It's a Yeah, I
You
the
like the
suspension.
EX30 off road as well?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's yeah. I don't know. It's an opinion, right? But
Yeah.
and
So if
the fact that you can customize the suspension like I've done, I
yeah.
put a coil on it, which can't you know can't do with the hydraulic suspensions. And I don't know. There's a lot. At least Southern California, there's a lot of EX30s, and
Yeah,
on the
it
tour there were
seems
a lot of EX30s.
it
And
seems to have taken over.
it's my go-to wheel. It's my the EX my EX30 is my go-to wheel as the general purpose wheel. If I'm going on a general purpose group ride or other
So
stuff that has some distance involved, EX30 is the wheel.
okay. So does the EX if you EX30 or Monster Pro or Master Pro rather, if you can only have one.
Oh God, this freaking only have one. Come on, I can't answer that. Only because you're talking to a guy that likes to go on 100-mile rides, right? So if if I didn't go on those kind of rides, EX30 every day because it's small. It's much smaller than the Master Pro. Every day, EX30 would be the wheel. It's only I would only say the Master Pro because I go on really long
Right,
road
right,
rides.
right.
But
So see, that's the thing is, although I know I would love the Master Pro because the Monster Pro was one of my favorite wheels, and I know the Master Pro was a next step up, better iteration, bigger, and you know has everything over it. I don't do long rides like that. You know, I may do one long ride a year. You know, my rides are never
mm,
that long. You know, they're usually
okay,
maybe 40, 50 miles, you know, and that's it. So I don't get to ride that long distance. So that's why I was thinking of selling the Master
okay,
back there and getting an EX30. First it was
right,
Master
right.
Pro, then I was like, no, I'll do an EX30. So I
But
think that's what I'm gonna do.
does the Commander Pro, your Commander Pro, handle the range that you need at your speeds that you like to ride?
It does, and that's why I haven't done this yet, because the
Okay,
Commander
so
Pro has been working for me. I'm like,
okay, so the EX30 probably would be a great
yeah,
bet for you then,
yeah,
because as long as it's got the range.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess at this point, I'm like, well, I'm so far into the iteration of the EX30, I might as well wait for the Commander GT Pro and get the next
I think
fastest, highest
I
range,
know, yeah,
biggest. Yeah,
because EX30 is kind of like yesterday's news,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. I missed the wave. I
Yeah,
missed the wave on that. So I'm like, all right,
yeah,
I guess I'll wait.
I think you should wait. Yeah.
Yeah, see, you just solidified it for me, Marty. Look at that, Marty here shouting out wisdom. Thank you, thank you. All right,
All
Marty, we're
right.
gonna close it out.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
you said we were going to close it out. Let's see, 40 minutes ago. So this
Hey,
time we're going to.
it takes me at least 3 to 4 times to actually close it out.
Okay.
Especially when we're talking about great wheels and we
Yeah.
got great company. It's good. We got
Well,
50 people in the chat right now, so guys, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me, please. I haven't done a lot of videos lately. I've been too damn busy. What everything that's going on in the world, they keep me busy with my two crazy jobs. So I want to say, I'm still around, I'm still here, and I still love my wheels. So I thank you guys for
yeah.
tuning in. And Marty, I appreciate you, man. I'm still jealous of where you live and the fact that you get all the good shit first, man. But but I
Well, it
thank you for
was
sharing.
fun talking to you as usual, and I look forward to see you in a week and a half. And we'll set up a good ride, Mount Baldy. It's going to be a glorious guarantee, unless it's raining some really weird reason. It's going to be a glorious ride that you will never forget.
Okay. So which are you bringing a wheel for me? Because I
So
definitely won't have
so
one.
so yeah. Well, my loaner Sherman, is that okay?
Oh, I need suspension.
Right now, I'm not loaning out any of my suspension wheels.
That's all right. I'll have someone bring one for me.
Are you serious? You actually can't? I still I
No,
ride my
I
Sherman Max.
nope. I
You
will not
you
ride a wheel without
really
suspension. I will not because
you
my
actually
my
won't ride
knees.
it?
Nope.
Wow.
Not on a ride like this. You know what I mean? Baldy and stuff.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it because my knees. I'd be in pain halfway through. I just couldn't do it. That's why it was such a big deal to me
Okay.
to get this hydraulic suspension, these two wheels, because they made it was a life changer for me. Because even though I could do it on the Monster Pro, after
Uh,
riding the Sherman S and owning it, when I went back to ride the Sherman and the Monster Pro, I was like, hell no, I can't do this. I did one ride on each of them and sold them. I was like, nope, can't do it. I just, the difference between the suspension and
wow.
being able to go over bumps and stuff in the street and not worry. When I was on the non-suspension wheels, I feel like I'm more hyper vigilant. Like I have to worry about every bump because every bump can throw me off balance. And with the
Well, we don't
suspension,
we don't well we don't have bumps in Southern California.
well, there you go. That's why we
So you
damn
don't
sure
have to
have them
worry.
here.
So you can ride my Sherman. You don't have to worry about bumps.
All right, Marty, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. Right now, I kind of like I don't like loaning out my EX30 or my Master Pro, and
Yeah, those are
and
those are the two oh, as a matter of fact, hold on. Isn't Liam going? Let's see if
I
Liam
don't
can bring
know.
me something.
Well, yeah,
You
I don't know
talk
if
to
he's going
Liam.
to go on that ride on Monday, but I'm sure he's obviously going to be at Amped. So yeah, reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll reach out to
He
Liam, see if
does.
he can bring me something. He's the wheel master.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll bring me something that I will end up buying.
Oh, that would be a Master Pro.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, something, but we'll see. All right, Marty, you have a
Okay.
good night,
Okay.
man, and hey, take
All
care of
right.
that ankle.
Good talking. Thanks. All right. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later. You guys have a good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.